Hello everybody, welcome to the Breakfast Show. Trading Ideas with SmartRobie, dating 20th of January. So how are you feeling today, this morning? After the lockdown with us for almost coming to a week, we were locked down since Tuesday, so now it's almost 8 days already into a lockdown. But I think that it doesn't feel like lockdown. As I was out yesterday, I could see all the cars here and there, and I was also at my office. But you can always follow us through many of our Facebook and live session in here, and definitely KLSE market. Depending on which sector you're in, some of them are really moving on. And I'm going to review some of those trading ideas that we did in our past episode, which is the intermediate stock trade idea, coming from the trending list, and they have done pretty well. Of course, just going to show you that one. But for now and for today, those of you is how is the market looking at? We will have the inauguration tonight, probably around midnight, where we see the President Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of United States. So with that in mind, will the market go higher or not? I will comment on that one. Anyway, thank you for coming and thank you for joining. I want to make sure the time that you spend with us in our breakfast show are well spent, then you will learn some important points that you can take away with it, and also do share this in your timeline. Now let's look at what we have for you today. Definitely our agenda this morning is the intermediate, and as such an intermediate we usually focus on a bit more complex setup, a little bit more complex than just the beginner, and also look at the charts and news sentiment, not forgetting the stock trade idea from trending stocks. That is what we have for now. Of course, in our roundup for the morning headlines is no other than the rubber glove. Now that's right. Now some people may say, Martin, this news coming out, recorded earnings, and why isn't Harta Lega going higher? Now let's put in Harta Lega over on the chart here. Okay. Let me just put it in here, Harta Lega. I'll just type in Harta, it's good enough. Okay. So you can see on top of it, let me just switch to a bigger chart here, the stock chart. Okay, let me just switch it to a bigger one. And you can see here, it has turned green pentagon. But you may kind of wonder, what's happening now? You have Harta Lega at one point going to record third quarter earnings of the ASP, but price is also well down because they are forecasting, or maybe everybody already bought Harta Lega. And how's the price going to go higher? Can be a possibility of that too. And also there are talks inside here. The research unit assigned Harta Lega of the ESG of 3.11, one of the highest. So with all these good facts on Harta Lega, why isn't Harta Lega? But I will give you a clue. Look at Riverstone, look at UG Healthcare, and look at Inco, which is listed outside of Malaysia, and you can see they're faring much better than this. At this point, I think it's possible that Harta Lega can be at $13 or $14. Just looking at the comparison to its nearest neighbor, those two, Riverstone, Inco, as well as UG Healthcare. But having said that, the research house in here is giving a buy call with a target price of 23 ringgit. That's right, now it's only $12. Wow, long way to go, right? But why isn't people buying? All right, it's always very interesting when you see this kind of news. All right, but let's not forget, I want to show you too this morning, where is the market, since we are on this subject of the market in here. Just want to show you the chart. Right now you can see the KLCI is still since that it hit green pentagon today. Yesterday it got red pentagon. Last night got red pentagon already. Okay, so what does that mean? Means the market will go through another round of down trend. Okay, not so good. So let's see where the KLCI this morning here, right? And you can hit this now. I just hit that one. So it's up 9 points. It's up 9 points, but we hit the downtrend, which actually tells you basically you have a green pentagon, then you have red pentagon. That simply means the market is actually moving sideways. That's right. That's the conclusion I can have for you right now. Okay, let's move on to what we have for you next on the news. Right, next on the news is Thematic Play. Now, a very good research house from UOB, I vouch for them, is talking about value stock. Now, for 2021, all has gone is already technology stocks. So, no point talking about those stocks. Boleh jalan. Now, let's talk about things that hasn't moved yet. In this list, he has banks, okay, a lagger, M Banks, okay. Then you have the MYEG, Sunway, Plantation, Globetronics, Genting, and Astro. I like Globetronics because being a technology, I think that one is not too bad. Others, maybe M Bank is okay, but that ties to RCE Capital. You can always look at RCE Capital, which actually run early on, which I did talk around 190. I think now it's slightly pulled back in here. But having said that, this article focus on for 2021, for those of you who do not like to chase any of those tech stocks, which is under the trending list, which I will talk about next. You might want to look at that one. Okay, now let's head on to our next news. Is just a short news. T7 Global has won another project, but this chart seems to be moving sideways, as I said before. All right, so you can look at. And for those of you who wanting me to review any of your stock, please key in there. Okay, usually I get a lot of those stocks people want me to look at, okay. So no stock so far, okay? So if you have any stocks you want me to look at, just type it in there. I will look at it for you. Or maybe you're so used to me commenting from SmartRobie that maybe just ask SmartRobie easier, right? So that will kind of make my job so much easier. As a matter of fact, SmartRobie is actually a persona from me. So I spend a lot of time working with the team, with the coder to actually program SmartRobie to be smarter going forward. I think in the years to come, many people ask, can SmartRobie trade on behalf of someone? We like to do that too. But the technology in here is available. We just need to get the resources to be able to do that. That is smart enough to figure out many of the intricacy that humans has to struggle, which is the emotion. SmartRobie can do it much better. Now, the next news that we have is Bursa, is the triple-digit growth that it talks about in here. Having said that, target price for Bursa is 918. Let's look at Bursa right now, and let me just bring this up and switch back to a bit wider chart here. And you can see the stock price. Okay, there you go. So you can see that Bursa is really, moving between $8.20 to $9 and way back. Of course, it has a green pentagon in here. I do think that this stock this morning in here should be up. Okay, there you go, up 1%. Now, any stocks that you want, if you've been following some of our trend setup that I've talked about, you need to have some sort of a chance to accumulate. Right now, this thing just ding dong in here. It's kind of tough to make money. Of course, the fundamental. Let's look at the fundamentals. Okay, fundamentals is very good, 6 out of 10. As you can see before, because of the ROE of 40, it is still undervalued. So having said that, the price call at 918, which is right now, yesterday closing was, let's see here, yesterday closing was 860, just another 60 cents, right? And it is the same kind of, I suppose, assumption that they have for Bursa, going forward with the market tapering down. Can Bursa, grow triple digit, just like the Hatta Lega, the rubber glove, with the waxing coming in, even those peak earnings that you have, maybe only temporary. That's why we don't see the Hatta, like what we saw last year, August. That's right. So, but usually it's always this case when nobody wants it, that's where you want to be buying. Okay, when everybody wants it, that stocks tend to move higher. Okay, so let's go on to what I have for you next in the story of the market. Server Dynamics. Now, Server Dynamics has been one of those stock that is value, has a very good value. If you look at the stock fundamental, just click on stock fundamental, we can see here. It is rated, again, 7 out of 8. One of the better ones. It's just that there is no taker for it because of the oil and gas. They try to move into technology, but I think that's not going to work that well. Perhaps renewable energy, if they do go into what SL West and what some Maiden are doing, or CY Park, then this stock can be re-evaluated later. Now, the analyst has a whole rating at 175. If you look at it, the previous closing price that they have is 164. Definitely from the chart wise, it's sort of building a nice base, right? It's just not getting the kind of momentum that you see. Let me just switch to a bigger chart for you. You can see here, bringing it up, and you can see this one is not too bad. From terms of setup, it has somewhat accumulation in here. Volume is popping up, but it's just not picking up higher. So definitely, if you want to hold this, the dividend has to satisfy. The dividend, if you look on the left-hand side, is 3.48 dividend. So not too bad. That kind of dividend you can get. All right. So let's move on to the next news that I have for you here. All right. Property sector on recovery part. As you can see, a lot of the properties are coming back right now. And also the interest rate cut. A lot of projection, I don't know, cut. But for me, I don't think property is going to go back to where it is. Very similar to rubber glove, whether it's going to go back up to $23 or not. But on paper, they looks very good. It's just that the chart wise, it takes a bit more to push it. As I said before, many people have bought it. And how is the stock price going to go up? So institutions need to come back in and buy it, but they're not convinced as more and more news coming out of that. Usually you need to have no news or bad news for smart money to accumulate. Right now, I don't see any accumulation, just a rubber glove. Property may be very, very similar too. All right. Okay, there are some stocks people are asking me to look at. KGB, Air Asia, SL West, Shooting Star. I don't use Shooting Star, we use Uptrust. Okay. Richie, you haven't joined our main course yet. Okay, that's fine. You can always look at our tutorial that we talk about Uptrust, or just follow Zac. What does it mean to you? Okay, but we will surely look at SL West. Usually when you see Uptrust on high volume, usually that's a sign of weakness. Okay, but we will look at the SL West later on. Okay. So on the US front, definitely we have seen market, right? Sorry, let me just go back to here. On the US front, we have seen market stagnant and hitting resistance at 31,000. Having said that breaking of 31,000 is important. Right now, the analysts all over the world are looking for a stock market correction in US. That, they can't get much better from here because of Joe Biden president inauguration in August 20. There's no more catalyst. The market need catalyst, some sort of news coming in like interest rate cuts. There's none. So that's why people are selling. And you can see the resistance at 31,000 is persistent. We might see correction, and within the same article that you see on the left hand side, they are looking between 5 to 10% healthy correction. So do take note, if the correction were to take place on the US, that will float back to Malaysia. But having said that, if you look at the pay attention, if you ever pay attention to the green pentagon, okay, we are already turning red pentagon. Okay, we are turning red pentagon, which means correction is likely to come. No need to say, right? So you have one news that you see, the US barons. So this one we have to correction. Now, of course, many of you would also think, hey, correction, I bought SL West, I bought KGB, but KGB going higher. What should I do? Isn't it? It's always the case that news does not sync with your stock. Now, I always say about which is more important, charts or opinion. But more importantly, put it down on the trading plan. Going back to what we call train trader and train investor. The whole point of being trained by the right people, having a full sets of curriculum, methodology to go forward. And that's important. That's some of the things that those of you who have joined our program intend to coach you and train you for that one, right? So take note of whatever you do. It's okay if you are not trained in that sense. Write it down in your trading plan and learn from your past mistakes. That's all we can do. If you are going to train by yourself, the only thing you can do is learn from your past mistakes. So make sure the mistakes that you made are not that bad. You can survive and who goes. For example, people who is in a good run, when they see bad news, they sell, but they never write the mistakes down. So they continue to make those mistakes. So it's important that you put it up in the trading plan, okay, what you want to do. Or use those trading plan from SmartRobie, go around with it and learn from it. Now, as I said before, those of you who have came on last Saturday, right, the number of trades that you'll be doing, the win rate, the lose rate is also important. I cannot emphasize it more. A lot of people want to take shortcuts. At the end of the year 2021, result also not so good. You see what I mean? So going back to the agenda again, being a train trader and train investor, the whole point, very important, is that you see incremental improvement as an investor, as a trader. Just like you want to be a good athlete, want to be a good badminton player, okay? Because if you're going to put your hearts and mind into it, might as well be good. Then at least you enjoy all the success, like myself and many of our coaches and also our member, that is done pretty well. We have shown you already in last Saturday. That's right. So same thing. So this coming 27, that's right. I'll just give you a bit of clarity that tonight we are doing the semiconductor talk. On the 27th, we are doing the back testing Pentagon follow-up for our masterclass member. Now, for those of you who have signed up last Saturday, we will invite you to our masterclass. Then we're going to show you the back testing also for the other markets and also for the US NASDAQ. Now, US NASDAQ was pretty good. Last year was almost 200% return. Right now, think of it, just the amount of effort that you need. At least we will show you the way how you want to do the US market in here. But more importantly, we were very, very happy that, you know, about 35 of our masterclass students who did that, nobody lost money last year. And to me, that's kind of an achievement. Just give them the fixed rule and they're able to follow it. So that's something we would like to do this year, 2021, that people who follow it, and if you have a good trend like what we did, or even as not so much better, you will at least make a double-digit return. Okay. Okay, let's go on to next we have here, and now that was something that I'll talk about, the lessons for 2020. Lessons that we look about, and just what I mentioned just now, it's the second agenda that we talk about using the SmartRobie portfolio trading backtesting. Right, you could make backtesting. I say this is backtesting. 106% return. Right, so you want to build that kind of confidence in there. Of course, on the right hand side is a QR code here that you can scan and you can read more about it. We want to sort of transfer this knowledge to you. For those of you who came on last Saturday, you saw a glimpse of it. And those of you who have joined us, welcome to it. We're going to be doing further testing for the US market and then the event. I've done the Singapore, I've done the Philippines, then we'll also be doing for the Hong Kong Stock Exchange market too. Okay. Now, if you look at the KLCI news, that we have right now. Okay, so on Wednesday, we'll usually review the news here. And let's look at the KLCI news. News is still very positive, but the KLCI edges on the caution note of the interest rate cuts. Okay, less convincing gains, and partly because of the interest rate cuts, you see a lot of the banks are taking a slight beating, and that's what causes the market to come down. And it's no surprise why we see the KLCI Pentagon has turned red. After turn green, then turn red. But this is, you know, what we always in the market. Okay, so just think. So it's always good. Every Wednesday we'll look at the sentiment of the market. Now, let's look at the, okay, let me switch back to a bigger chart here so we can see better here. Now, these are the highlights of the past intermediate trade that we have. Now, how many of you have picked item 1 to item 6? Just type it in there. If you have sort of gone in item 1 and item 6, then what you want to do is congratulate yourself. That's right. This is, of course, not every trade wins, as I said before, right? Not every trade wins. But why we want to show you that is because we want to bring the lesson learned in year 2020. Remember, top 2020, some of the trade idea that works very well, like you get 400% for Supermax, maybe around 100% for Harta Lega, and so on and so forth. So we want to bring the same lesson right back to you. And we already started, 23rd of December, we got pi of 51% here, right? Then we have what else we have here? Okay. Then we have UWC 21%, KGB 24%, revenue -2%, Great Tech, which was selected 13%, and Frontend we selected on 13% in here. Would any of these idea become top gainer for 2021? Again, when we come to the end of the year, I sort of like prepare you guys for year end. So we start right now, we start measuring every day. So you can look back, some of these stocks, I think PIE was a subsidiary of Foxconn. It's part of the semiconductors, which I will talk about it tonight. As a matter of fact, if you look at this, PIE, UWC, Great Tech and Frontend, they are part of the semiconductor industry, which I'll talk about it tonight at 9:30. So make sure you join me for that one. So it's no surprise, before the talk talks about it, market run, isn't it? That's right. That's how the market works. Accumulation, market run, and then now people talk about it. All right. So one of the reasons I want to talk about it, of course, many of you who are listening are beginner, tend to solar. If you're still holding some of those stocks in there, and you come to think of it, I mean, you've been following me for some time. You know how my logic thinking, how to look at sectors, how to use Pentagon to your advantage. The only thing that's stopping you, as I said before, in some of my talk, I talk about Sun Tzu, the art of war. Who's the real enemy here? Ask yourself. Is it yourself? Because you so clinch on to the emotion that you have, I don't want to lose money, or you so emotional clinch on to the stocks that you have because of the emotion of losing money. We all have to go through that. The sooner you get over with it, it's better. So this is again part of the train trader and train investor agenda for 2021 that I have for you in here. Of course, it will be faster if you go into a program where we can have us, the coaches, to guide you. All right. So this is the trending list that we have so far. Okay, let's look at the lesson learned. One of the stocks in here, of course, I want to impart some lesson learned is revenue, 6th of January. No doubt revenue has not run, but I'm just going to bring up this chart here. Fairly interesting in here, and you could see, okay, here. Now this is revenue. I'm going to bring up revenue. Now remember, revenue is one of those stocks that I have selected way back in July, which I think has had a lot of potential in here. Now, the 6th of January was this stock when it went up 16%. Now, always take note, every time when we see this, what we call climatic volume, which is the this bar here, it's called the VSI bar. So if you subscribe to our package, many of you who have subscribed to our package in here, you will definitely get this. Anyway, we still have an offer until Chinese New Year from the 16th to 31st for the plug-in that you get. Will give you extra months, and also the combo plan. Those of you who want to come for it, you can subscribe to it now. At least you get some better offer. So let's go back to the 6th of January. So the market actually break out, and usually when climatic volume, it does this. It does this a lot of time. You shake you out in like here. But again, going back, what I've talked about on Friday. Remember Friday, the step down volume. We have the step down volume here. Then the market open up, and then you have the step up volume here. Nice, So finally it's going to move up. Okay. Of course, if you are untrained, then you tend to kena wall up left and right. Correct, right? So another way to look at it is also, if you want to have the package, you can switch on to what we call a active chart. And definitely, if you have subscribed to the plug-in package, you can see, on the 12th of January, the market move up, and then you can see there's a low volume here. This low volume is okay, no doubt, right? It didn't hit the ATR stop loss, right? And then when the market picks back up, it's good. I think it's also important, some of you who are wanting to be more active, you want to have a little bit more control on your hands to switch on to the active trading charts. Okay. Some of you have already keyed some stocks. No, I will look at them early on. Okay, so as the market steps up, you can see volume is increasing. So that's healthy or not? What do you think? Remember, when the market step up, you need to have healthy volume. All right, so that's some of the lessons I really want to impart in here, and switching back to a daily chart in like here. Of course, you may ask, will it take out 146, 149? My take is very likely, but it could hit a resistance inside here. A lot of people like to buy when things is confirmed. Now again, going back to what I said about Sun Tzu, learn to understand yourself. The sooner you understand yourself and how you perceive losing money, making money, right? Not cutting loss over some time. Now, I also want to bring in a story of one of my friend too. He shared with me, you know, in August, he made about 160,000 on the rubber glove. I said, oh, that's great, you know, on August. Then he continued to trade. Then he said, oh, I lost 40,000 on October. I said, okay lah, only 40,000, but you made 160,000. No, Martin, I lost back the 160,000 plus another 40,000. So again, if you look back, how did this happen? Then I said, how did it happen? I said, I got carried away, emotional and things like that. So as I said before, this thing will happen to all of us, including myself. So the sooner you recognize this and take actions, else come back year end, you're going to have the same thing too. It's always interesting how the cycle works in here. Emotion. So one of the things I want to do in 2021 is to really help you, especially those guys who came into our program, our masterclass, to really adjust you. So on the 27th of January, those of you who are listening now from our masterclass, make sure you attend. I'm going to talk a bit about psychology and how to be disciplined to follow those plans. Okay, all right. Okay, let's move on. So this one looks pretty good on revenue in here. Of course, some of you ask, what's the stock pick? Not stock pick, trade idea for today. Okay, today from our pick is FP Group and M1 Tech. Okay, let's look at FP Group. Okay, so this is FP Group. You can see, of course, if you have used the green pentagon, you have gone in much earlier, but today is the time to go in here. Right, that's one of the first pick here, FP Group. Next one is M1 Technovation. Okay, wow, this one already gone up 9%, but it's okay, we'll keep it here, right? We'll keep it here because when I first selected it was actually, you think through, trending list is updated last night. So if you have found this, you could have gone in at the morning, isn't it? Maybe get in around 5 ringgit. Now it's already 5:30. All right, something for you to think about. The trending list gets updated at night, around 10:30 to 11, right? Or if you get up early, 6, 7 o'clock, look at the trending list and prepare first, and you can do your trades right now. Okay, so this is M1 Technology. But if you prefer to wait online, no problem, right? Then we'll come back and review next week, just like what we have said. Let me go back to previously. Okay. Some of these stocks let me just get back in here. Yeah, this one. Great Tech Front Can, 13th of January. That was last week. So we'll review those next week, how well it turned out to be. Okay. And more importantly is the lesson learned. Now, very important, if you look here, there was a lot of accumulation. We have the step up volume. And that's what I want to share with you on my next slide. Okay, now we've done that one. M1 and FP Group. That's the... Now, do take note, the KLCI right now is in red pentagon. Red pentagon is going to turn bar. Now, here is paying attention to the narrow spread bar. Now, just now I said before, just like the M1 Technovation. Okay, look back at the Tech One Innovation. You can look at the SmartRobie. Those of you who have the plugin switch on to your trading view, you can see there is signs of accumulation in there, and before this market run. Of course, if you bring back a bit earlier, Technovation first came out on 21st of December, right? And if you have gone in, that's nice, but it started to run right now. Okay. Okay, let's move on to our next. So this is a QR code for those of you who want to know more about our sign of strength and sign of weakness and how the Pentagon works. All right, so usually, thank you for those of you who have came and given your support. But if you have not reviewed us on the Google My Store as well as the Facebook, please do go in and review us. We really appreciate what you can do for us, and share with us what you think and how we can improve ourselves as a token of appreciation. Thank you very much. And at least we've given some trade ideas for you to work on. Now, going forward, I'm going to look at some stocks right now. So this is the February intake, which is something that we are promoting right now, which is just 1 week before Chinese New Year. So we will be looking at the US market. the Pentagon, right? So those of you who have signed up earlier on for our masterclass, definitely 27. So we actually start you very early. Once you come in the training, and we'll start you early. We do through many of the Zooms to get you quick and running up. We do see that if there is a correction coming from the US market, as I said before, then we want to prep you looking at those setup in here. Now, there are some questions some of you have here. Let's go QES. Okay, let's look at QES. QES. Okay, if you have gone in here, could be a possible 1 bar pullback. You can see here, this one went down 5 green Pentagon here. But do take note, every time when you see climatic volume here, right, usually the market will take some time to really so-called work its way up. Now, as long as the market doesn't trend back to 33 cents, I think this one is good. Now, if you switch back to hourly chart, right, you can see market break up and coming back in, it's holding up in here. You can see this is where the climatic volume happened here. Now, climatic volume also important when you see the VSI bar. Again, something I will talk more in detail how to deal with it, how to move around with it. But if you just want to follow here and there a bit here, then try to catch up from here. But definitely we will talk more in here. Of course, what we're waiting for right now, switching back to hourly chart, would be the green Pentagon that we want to see here. Right now, hourly chart here, I'm not seeing it in here. Now, some of you may say, hey, what is all this? Is our package, okay? So this is the one. Then next one we have, someone did ask me here, is SL West. Let's look at SL West. Okay, this for Richie, Solar West. So you look at SL West, switching on daily chart. Now, very important that we see this kind of upthrust. Usually upthrusts are distribution bar, but if we do see this close lower than 197, then this one is going to go lower. If you look logically in here, you got double top, right? And you have this upthrust. So weakness is setting in right now. Okay, some of you may have bought it here. So you have to wait a bit. You have the stop loss around ATL stop loss in here. That simply tells you there is distribution for the Solar West. And I think that smart money do know it, because you look at the left hand side, there is an overhead at $2.10 in here. So right now, you can stay defensive. Either you don't do anything, or you take some money off the table, but just keep it in there. Again, going back to your trading plan. What is your trading plan here? Very important. Okay, going back to your trading plan. Again, going back to the rules that were given out on last Saturday. Use those rules to your favor. Okay, now that's what we do our value investing. And those of you who have decided to push on and continue with it, wonderful. If not, just use those rules. It's no point just looking at it and relying on yourself. Okay, get SmartRobie to assist you. Look at the trading plan that we have for SL West. Let's look at SL West here. Okay, look at the exit strategy. Okay, there you go. 205214. That is the trading plan. Yeah, it hits all of them already. TP. Exit on Pentagon, red Pentagon in here. Cautious should SL West turn lower. Right now, it is sign of weakness, but we still need confirmation at the end of the day. If you don't know what I mean, follow Zac at 9, or maybe come and join us on our next course. Okay, next thing we have here, I hope that helps my comment. We have a bit more here. QES. Okay, Nick asked about market bubble. Market will continue to go higher, as I said before. But we will have some corrections going forward. Always look at the chart. Don't look at what people say. Same thing. Don't look at what I say. Look at the charts and what are the indicators telling you. Okay. That's Nick. Thomas. Okay. K Power. K Power. Okay. K Power continue to run your profit. So going back to K Power here. If you ask me what I think, sorry, I always go back to SmartRobie. Okay. So SmartRobie, just check it out in here. And let me just switch on to the chart. Go here and look at the chart. Okay, I'll look at the trading exit strategy. Simple, isn't it? Right? 289, 308, 289, 308. So let's bring out the K plus. K power, sorry, K plus. Okay. Yeah, it hits the target 308. So you have 308, take some partial profits, right? Right. Stop loss is 220, or exit another partial on your next red pentagon. Okay. Learn to run your profits. I know if you run your profits here, let's say you've gone in the pentagon, yeah, it's 123% profits. Okay, 123% profits. So that's how simple is it. Run your profits, then you get more. All right. So okay, let's look at what we have here. K power. Okay, we got CMSB. CMSB is ding dong left and right. Like you have red pentagon in. You got the red pentagon in here. It didn't follow through. It sort of moved sideways. Again, go to CMSB. Okay, CMSB. Looking at the exit strategy. All right. ATR stop loss. Medium target is 244. Stop loss is 170. 170 haven't hit yet lah. Still sort of moving it sideways. Okay, just keep it for the time being. After exiting, Robie suggests PI or SL West in the industrial product of services. Okay, in the industrial product or services. Okay, anything more? VStack K1 I think. Okay, let's look at K1. Okay, K1 you have green pentagon. But you have a lot of weakness too right now that you're seeing. Let me just pull this up a bit. Okay, you likely have the market moving sideways. Right, this thing is green, moving sideways. You got 32 cents as your stop loss. Just take note of it. There's no follow through with this thing in here. You can see it has difficulty breaking up for K1. All right, you can see the volume. There is no step up volume. You can see, right? The market is moving, so you need to hold on a bit more. Okay, VStack used to be ECS. Okay, good. Okay, this thing break out. You have a 1 bar. So this was definitely a climatic volume. Again, very similar to the other one that we just saw. 1 bar up, 1 bar pullback. Okay, learn about the 1 bar pullback. Okay, and our coach Fu teach this in our masterclass. Okay, so I'll leave that one to him and we'll discuss more in our masterclass. All right, so this one in here. Anything else? Yeah, you guys, CMSB. Okay, K power. I think that's about it. Anything else that you all have want me to look at? PIE and Great Tech. Oh, okay, great. So Raj got into PIE. Okay, IPO. Someone asked me about IPO, HPP. Usually I don't like IPO. Of course, some IPO do make money. It's because I can't see the charts. I could not see the activity of the smart money. So it's more of a fundamental kind of approach. Whether whoever pitched that idea to you, could be your remiser or your dealer, he has to have a good story lah, right? But usually what I do is to, just like if you look at Sam Maiden, okay, which is the, you must wait for it to list then only buy lah, okay? You can see here, there. After list came back down, right? And once it turned green pentagon, you can buy, still okay. Okay, of course, this is where the leading indicator is. So some people ask, how come there is no? Because that's what I've said before. Even for the Pentagon Guider, it needs to have some price and volume before it can reach that one. Okay? Anything else? Pekka, I think Pekka, I picked that up earlier, isn't it, Philip? Pekka is furniture, continue to go higher. Yeah, just run with it, I suppose. I think I picked up Pekka on green pentagon earlier on. All right, just look. I have to look back at some of the earlier notes that I have. Okay, this one is a nice one. We have springs, very classic. Started to move up. Okay, JHM. Oh, very nice, JHM. Finally, we are there, right? Remember, guys, JHM. We picked this for our Apai 2. Which one did I say? Yeah, for our Pentagon trading simulation. Yeah, we got in about 193, 30% lah. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's the one on Saturday one. So hopefully you hit 30%, then at least one of the trade works. All right. Well, we say that if you just follow the plan, you want to work. So we are pretty happy for those of you who have got in using the Pentagon portfolio trading there, right? So all we got to do is just get ready to take profit, but not so soon. I have to let it run a bit more. Okay, anything else? Oh, okay, Top Glove. Charles, if you're looking at Top Glove, look at my old comment that I have on Top Glove. Right now, Top Glove is not going to go higher, not going to go lower. You have to decide. Of course, the mistakes that I see many people do on rubber glove is the silang. You know, they have a small amount, they silang everything, so they have no more game to play. And because they don't understand themselves very well, they could not leave, and that's why the money is stuck there. Usually that's the case, whatever happens. So make sure you get a good education, follow someone who can teach you that, then you'll be in better hands. I think very important, going back to Agenda 2021, become a trained trader and a trained investor. All right. Other than that, I think I spoke a lot about the rubber glove. I still have rubber glove. Having said that, you know, I have not got out of it. But as the market go higher, I trim. Just like, you know, if you see K Power, right? You started to take profit as you go. You can take partial profit. You can take when you hit the medium target of SmartRobie, or you can take another profit target at Pentagon. The whole point as you go higher, you take profit, and then you rotate out, rotate back in again. Something we talked about last Saturday too, right? Okay, anything else? Pi, Great Tech. Yes. Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much for joining your time with us. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something today. But that's not end of it. Let me just go back to, yeah. Okay. Tonight, join me today again, tonight. I hope you all don't, I hope you don't get bored of me. But tonight is the semiconductor sector. Would it keep soaring like what we've seen today? Now we have the UWC, the Great Tech, the Frontcan, the Globetronics, just another one just flew off the chart here. JHM, right? Yeah, you can see this one. This one happening right now also. Today already up 9%. See, okay. Will this continue? All right. But anyway, we gone in about 192. Quite nice. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Tomorrow, tonight I'll talk more on the semiconductor sectors, give you a sort of rundown. So right now, myself and my team will be busy preparing in here, and I'll see you tonight at 9:30. So make sure you share this video and get your friends and your colleagues, especially your children, to come in, because I'm kind of trying to explain a lot more from the macroeconomics, giving you some background. Then, you know, if you're going to put your money into the semiconductors, getting out a bit from the what we call the rubber glove into semiconductor, then you make money. And I have something also on the next talk will be, public talk will be 3rd of February, will be renewable energy. What does President Biden talk about? But I'll talk about it tonight, because on the 27th, I reserve my time for my masterclass members. After all, they have committed to be a trained trader and a trained investor. So it's my duty, myself, my team, my coaches, to train them up for at least the next 12 months. So I'll see you tonight, 9:30. Bye-bye.